gentlemen, I present to you the 20 gentlemen vying for the title of Mr. Olympia. Our first competitor, please welcome Big Mac, Cedric McMillan. Half machine, half bodybuilder, Flexitron, Shawn Rhoden. Four-time Olympia champion, back on the Olympia stage, Cutler. Here comes the Predator, Greene. And your final competitor, your two-time and reigning Olympia champion, the Gift, Heath. folks, with a lineup this big, this deep, not even an argument anymore, the most competitive Olympia in history. I certainly cannot do this alone. I need a co-host as big as this lineup. Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host for the press conference, the menace, Dennis James.
Thank you, Bob. And thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming back. It is, for me, an honor to come back here to host this show with Bob together, with all these athletes. And I feel so much better than I, compared to last year, because I know there's no Masters this year, so there's no way you can trick me into do any other shows. So I'm just strictly here to handle business with these guys. Thank you very much for coming out.
Phil Heath. You're two-time champ. Will it be three-time champ when the dust settles?
No, what the hell? Get out of here. Anyway, thanks for all the fans that showed up today. Really appreciate it. I think, like Bob said, this is going to be the biggest and the baddest Mr. Olympia contest of all time. We have 3 Mr. Olympia champions along with 4 multi-winner Arnold Classic champions. And, everyone up here has won something. So we're all champions up here, and we're definitely all fighting for that Sandow trophy. But to answer your question, I would be really ignorant to say that I'm not wanting to win, especially after winning the last 2 years. So yes, of course, I train hard, I train smart, and I'm definitely having a great time being the champion, traveling around the world, meeting many, many fans, and having an awesome experience, being a part of the sport of bodybuilding. And I hope that, of course, when the dust settles, I will be the 3-time Mr. Olympia champion. I definitely feel like I have the ability, and I definitely put in the work.
Ty Greene. How are you doing, Ty?
That wasn't smart.
Hello.
What's up? Ty, now, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm never wrong. Did I not see you sign the poster that said Ty Greene, Mr. Olympia underneath it?
Yes, you did.
What's up with that?
I intend to be a person of very few words.
No.
I can show you better than I can tell you.
Show the freak, baby!
If you want to show some muscle there, you're not going to get an argument out of these people. What do you think, Dennis?
Well, I think he just got up, he just woke up from backstage, because he was sleeping for about 45 minutes. So I was like, give him a couple more minutes to wake up. On the other hand, for me, it's so good to see Big Jay Cutler back on this stage. Jay, I remember very well, last time you came here on this stage, you put your Sandow right here on the table. This year, it's only a bottle of water. I'm not saying that you still have 4 Sandows at the house, but are you planning on putting that Sandow back on there on Sunday morning?
Yeah, come on, Jay.
Yeah. I did, I came back. Obviously, I want to thank everyone for coming and supporting. I think it's going to be the biggest crowd appeasing Olympia in a very long time, if not ever. And I was in the press conference last year. I sat over there and I watched all these guys up there, and of course, first year away from the Olympia stage in over 10 years. And I decided after that I wanted to get back up there. And of course, barring the injury and everything was recovered, I'm back up here. I'm very blessed to be able to be healthy and be able to stand with all these guys, not just, obviously Phil and the guys that are going to be the highlights of the show. I'm very fortunate to be able to be competitive and be healthy. So I want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting my run for the 5th title here.
I can't gloss over this here, Phil. Mr. Olympia. Ty Greene?
People, everyone up here is trying to be Mr. Olympia.
No, I know that. Listen, everybody's trying to be Mr. Olympia. Everybody's here to win. He just said he signed the poster as Mr. Olympia.
I mean, I guess he can do what he wants. I mean, people would find that disrespectful, some people not.
Do you?
It doesn't really matter because...
Do you?
No, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he can sign whatever the hell he wants. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, I didn't care. All I care about is winning my 3rd title, you know, creating this legacy that I want to live, and crushing everybody's dreams, just like Kai Greene.
Crushing everybody. The other thing about one person, the one person I talked to yesterday that got 3rd place last year, but you don't really hear a lot of talk about him this year. Mr. Shawn Rhoden right here. Came out of nowhere in 2012, won numerous shows, got 3rd at the Olympia, went to Europe, won some more shows, and now not a lot of people talk about Shawn Rhoden. What is Shawn Rhoden going to do this year with Kai Greene, Phil Heath, Jay Cutler coming back, Dexter Jackson, all these guys? Where does Shawn Rhoden fit in this year? Tell me what you said last night. Don't try to sugarcoat nothing here.
The wait is over. Thank you guys so much for coming out, support all these great athletes. It's been, to say the least, a great journey, and very happy to be back here on this stage. Not just as a number or as a spectator, but you know, I've worked my ass off this year to be where I'm at, and I'm looking forward to getting out here.
That's not what you said last night. I quote, "I'm here to win this year."
Yes, I am. I mean, I worked very hard the past couple of months to be here. Since October last year, you know, I've dedicated, you know, all that time to be back here.
I see you went to California. You left home to train with Charles Glass. Was that the magic formula that you needed?
And there comes a time when, you know, you realize how far you could take yourself. And, you know, I trained very hard for many years, and, you know, at this end of my journey, you know, I had to pack up and come to the West Coast. You know, I've been working with Chris Aceta, and everything's been going great, and, you know, I figured out the best way for me to, you know, prolong this journey was to come out here and, you know, train with Yoda. Everybody, you know, Charles Glass, and, you know, what he's capable of doing. And I came out here and see, here I am. I took myself as far as I can, and, you know, I'm going to need the help to, you know, finish this journey. So yes, you know, I've trained very hard to be here, and yeah, I'm going to win.
All right, thank you, Shawn. Jay, let me get back to you real quick. Like I say, obviously, a 4-time champ, the strive for 5 this year. Obviously, you got your hands are full. But Jay, we've seen obviously a lot of speculation over the year. Our friend Shawn Ray even speculated you wouldn't even make it to the Olympia stage, but here you are.
Shows how much he knows.
Branch, we've talked about favorites of the show. We've talked about people moving up and down. You got rookies coming in. You've got veterans like yourself competing. Your name has come up probably more than anybody else's in this lineup of Branch is on the bubble. Branch has got his hands full. Well, we got some, you know, some great competition. You know, he's going to have a tough time making the top 6. But let's face it, Branch, they've been saying it about your entire career. You never turned pro. You never won a pro title. You never be in the top 3 of the Olympia. So all you keep doing is proving everybody wrong.
Ain't nothing changed. It's the same thing, different year. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. You know, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're probably gonna keep getting what you've been getting. So, you know, just first I want to thank everyone for coming and supporting the 49th edition of Mr. Olympia. How many people saw Generation Iron? Thank you for going out and supporting the Mr. Olympia and watching the movies. And you know, I don't know how the show's gonna turn out. No, there's not a man on the stage that actually knows how it's gonna turn out. Of course, every person here is training to win, just like myself, but that's why we have the competition to find out who's going to win and who's not. So, you know, I'm just glad to be here. I'm 38. I thought I'd be retired by now, but honestly, I love this sport and I love doing what I'm doing. So I'm just blessed that I can still compete at a top level. And the critics, man, they're not so smart, man. They think they are, but they're not.
Well, you got to have in every sport, Branch. That's what makes the sport go round. Branch, you said at 38 you thought you'd be retired by now. Jay, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you have a comment years ago that you said you'd be retired by 30 and be done? Anyway.
Ask Shawn Ray.
Shawn would know.
Well, he's right down here. You can ask him.
Yeah. His name is Mandoa Elsbaye, but they call him Big Ramy. Big Ramy, welcome to the Olympia stage. You've got a great lineup here.
الأول بحب أشكر كل الموجودين على دعمهم الكامل ليا في الفترة اللي فاتت، وإن شاء الله أتمنى إن كل اللي دعمني وكل اللي كان معايا وغير اللي المشجعين القويين اللاعبين التانيين إن شاء الله نساعدهم في المباراة بتاعت بكرة إن شاء الله.
I'm happy to be here to show what I have, and tomorrow you will see all what I have. And thank you for all fans for support me. And thank you for also Mr. Dennis, my coach.
Okay, let me explain. Let me.
Dennis will now interpret the interpreter.
Let me help you out.
Where's Melvin Anthony when you need him?
Yes, I'm right here. I know exactly what he wants to say. Ramy wants to say, because he told me that last night. We had, we talked, but we got to look in each other's eyes and hands and feet. You know how it is when you meet a girl from a different country. You got to. So what he basically told me is because, his English is not up to par, but he said, for him, this is his all-time dream. He was always dreaming about being on this stage. He watched press conferences before on video from other Olympians. And for him, this is a dream come true. And you can see this guy, carbs, no carbs, it doesn't really matter. He always smiles. He keeps smiling because he's on cloud 7, cloud 9, cloud 25, call it whatever you want it. That's basically what he just said.
You said all that? You said cloud 25? Interesting. Big Ramy, how does it feel to be competing against some of these great athletes at the Olympia?
برضو أنا لسه حاولت إن كل اللاعبين الموجودين دول كانوا حلو. وجودي معاهم ده شرف ليا كبير، لكن أتمنى أن أكون منافس قوي.
It's my dream to be here and compete with big name here, Mr. Olympia, and I will show my best with him and show the best in the stage.
English, maybe.
Thank you, Big Ramy. He knows that one.
Dennis Wolf. Dennis. You did a couple more shows after the Olympia last year. You won the Park show, beat Shawn Rhoden, who got third. And ever since then, it was real quiet. There was no news, other than signing with a new sponsor, there was not a lot going on. We didn't hear a lot about the Big Bad Wolf. What was Big Bad Wolf cooking all this year?
First of all, thanks a lot for coming out and to support the greatest sport in the world. Vielen Dank an die deutschen Fans. И спасибо для всех фанатов с России. Yeah, I mean, I had a great
off-season.
I'm sorry, low carb. Yeah, I had a great off-season. Didn't get fat that much, and I think everything just turned out very, very good for me in the last couple of months. Just happy to be here and ready to battle again.
Are you ready to finally crack your personal goal, which is top 3?
Yes. No, you're gonna see tomorrow if I'm ready or not. Like some guys just said, if you're a little bit off with this lineup, you can be beaten by by smaller guys or who's just a little bit sharper. And this important thing to be in shape and to bring it on stage. It's what the people all were missing. They always were talking like, oh, he is always looking great before the show, but I'm trying to do it this time. So I'm not looking great before the show, I'm looking great on the show.
All right, thank you, Dennis.
Evan, you change camps, or you finally switched to a camp. You know, you came out on top in Tampa, which I think was the best Evan that I've seen in the last 2-3 years. Coming here to the Mr Olympia from Tampa, what did you change? Did you do anything different? Because there was a big gap. It was, what, how many weeks? 7 weeks. So I know how hard it is to almost like kind of come off a diet, rebound a little back and come back. What can we expect from you tomorrow? I know you don't talk a lot of trash, so I'll just ask you a regular question.
It was actually really easy getting ready for this show. Probably the easiest show prep I've ever had. Having already been in shape for Tampa, I'm almost embarrassed to kind of divulge too much of what I did. But I did cardio maybe about 3 times since Tampa. If I told you what I was eating, you'd probably say, "Oh my God, you
I probably ate the same."
So it was actually very easy for me getting ready for this one right now. And as ironic as it sounds, I feel like there's less pressure getting ready for this show than there was for Tampa. So it's actually been a pretty enjoyable preparation.
Yes, sir. Tell me, talk about it.
Dennis, you guys saw me in Dallas and Tampa. I was in best condition ever I.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, I was 100%. And this line, first line, I don't know, but in second line, I can beat everyone.
Everybody in the second line, Dennis.
You know what? Because they are the favorite here. They are the big names here. The first line. And we know that.
So the second line is yours. You own the second line.
Yeah.
First line, not so much.
Not so much. They are the favorite big names. You know that.
I wouldn't know nothing about that.
Well, I'm standing next to a guy who says he owns the third table. Big Mac says nobody even wanted to sit at his table. That's how much he owns it. Big Mac, what's up, son?
I'm kind of wondering if like my position shows my insignificance.
No, it's completely the opposite. See, we start at the top and work our way down.
Oh, okay.
Stop breathing into the microphone. Can't you hear that?
Yeah. All of this is nice. Well, we give shots back and forth, but like my sergeant major told me when I came back from a show one day, he said, "Mac," he said, "how'd you do?" You know, I think on that one I maybe got my butt kicked or something, but he said, "Well, Mac, you know, it's just a beauty pageant, right?" He said, "Nobody actually beat you." He said, "If it was fighting or MMA, it'd be something different, you know?"
Ain't a beauty pageant for Jose Raymond, I know that.
So I always take that with me. Bodybuilding for me is a personal journey. Got to remember, is it working, not working?
Yeah, I just automatically assumed it was you, but that's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're never wrong, right?
See? There you go.
Testing.
Ah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, but anyway, bodybuilding for me has been a personal journey. I can remember being 5 years old, laying on the floor while my mom was flipping channels, and I can remember seeing, at the time I didn't know it was a bodybuilding show, but it was this female bodybuilder and she was going through her posing routine. And I looked back at my mom, I said, "Mama, she too busy trying to show her muscles, she can't even dance good." And my mom said, "Boy, that's what she's supposed to do, she's a bodybuilder." And I said, "Oh." So we looked at a few routines and immediately I fell in love. And then I seen Conan on TV with that sword and that long hair and all those muscles. You know, so I had a love for muscles from day one, and never at that time had a dream that I wanted to grow up and be a bodybuilder. That kind of came later. But I can look back and remember, my mom said I always used to be taking my shirt off and flexing and posing, you know, ever since I was a little kid, you know. So this for me, once again, is a personal journey. And every show that I do, I'm just trying to improve myself, trying to get better. I take pride in trying to emulate the people in bodybuilding that inspired me back in the late 80s and early 90s, the way the physiques were back then. That's what I fell in love with. And I know times are slightly different now and the physiques change in order to, cater to the industry, what everybody wants to see. But my one love is that late 80s and that early 90s. I can say that most of the guys that's on the stage right now with me, at one point in my career, I was looking up to them, wanting to be like them. Looking in the magazines and looking on the internet like, wow, as I was getting ready to try to compete in my first show back in 2003. And I can remember when Phil turned pro and I was like, man, just everybody. Dennis Wolf was my favorite physique, and the way he just destroyed Ronnie in that Most Muscular back in the day. I love Dennis Wolf, and I had pictures on my fridge and everything. So honestly, just when you take away talking about who's gonna beat who and who can beat that, like I said, it's not MMA, and I just being here, coming from the bottom, is a big accomplishment. So I'm very proud of that.
Johnnie Jackson.
Yeah,
Johnny, this is your 10th Olympia this year, is it correct? Whose ass you kicking?
Man, whoever stands in front of me. No, but wait. First I want to know, what number are you, Cedric? Because he talking about he in love with muscles, position he's in, all this kind of stuff. I don't be standing next to him on stage. You know what I mean? That's just wrong. Wow. But anyway, hi everybody, and just like you know what I mean, everybody else, I'm really happy to be here. Awesome lineup. We all know this and said this, and man, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for Friday, and let's just do it. And when the smoke clears, we'll see what happens after that.
If something goes wrong, you just deadlift everybody.
That's all. I'm gonna get through one way or the other.
Phil Heath, Three-Peat.
What about it?
What about it? He's already signing stuff saying he's Mr. Olympia.
I think it's pretty hilarious. But anyway, at the end of the day, the cool thing about being a champ is that you get to see, the underdogs, and you get to see the fans root for the underdogs and this and that and the other. And it's great for the sport. I can't say that I haven't been in that position, but because of me being in that position and then being able to win the Olympia twice, and then being able to go through what I've gone through this year, I don't think people really understand, the level of hard work and dedication, because I don't really talk about it a whole lot. A lot of people say, well, he's the gift, he's this, he's that. I think it's garbage. At the end of the day, I'm one of 13 people in the world, on earth, to acquire this title. I've beaten a lot of people, and I think a lot of people, will say, oh, he's genetically gifted, oh, he's this and that. Get over it, people. I worked my ass off. I've been dealt with some amazing things this year. Been dealt with my wife, who's here today. She's stage 1 breast cancer survivor. Seeing her hard work, she's here today. She's like, you know what? I was able to go through this. You can do it too. It's like, you know what? You're damn right. I actually have 2 fathers. One stepdad who had emphysema last year and this year at the age of 80. He was able to do his damn thing and get his butt here to support his son to be on that stage. Then I had another father, my biological father, who isn't here, who hasn't been home since April due to a crazy disease that the doctor basically gave me the softest hand ever and said, could be weeks, could be months, we don't know. So I went in there and told him that my best will always be good enough, and I will bring that trophy back to you.